right, thank you. Good morning. I'm Ralph Becker, the mayor of Salt Lake City, and I have with me Eric Shaw, the director of our Community and Economic Development Department, and Wilf Summercorn, our planning director, and a host of our planning and other experts from the city who are involved, directly and heavily involved, in an exciting planning effort that we're involved in Salt Lake. I'm going to make some brief comments. Then I'll turn it over to Eric and Wilf. Plan Salt Lake is an initiative by Salt Lake City to reach out far, wide, and deep into our community to help guide the overarching vision and objectives we have as Salt Lake City. In the planning world, this is really a plan that is unlike anything really we've had in Salt Lake City since probably 1962, in that this plan is going to serve as the umbrella and the guidance for all of our major decision making related both to land use and to other important community actions. So this plan, Plan Salt Lake, will serve as the overall guidance and policy guidance for all of our other plans. Salt Lake City's planning for the last 30 years or more has really been neighborhood focused. So downtown has a plan, the avenues has a plan, and we can go on and on in various parts of the city have their own neighborhood plans. What we are doing with Plan Salt Lake is to really take the policy direction that's reflected in the plans we have to date and putting them on the table and arriving at what our guidance should be citywide that will serve as our general guidance for really a wide range of Salt Lake City decisions. The critical and by far the most critical part of this planning process, as is true I think for virtually every plan we enter into in Salt Lake City, is the community's involvement. In the early, and Eric and Wilf are going to talk about this, in the early stages of Plan Salt Lake, we have been doing some interesting, exciting, innovative activities to engage portions of our public who don't normally get involved in city decisions. And it's actually been fun as someone who's participated in it and watched literally the thousands of people who've already participated in Plan Salt Lake get involved to date. But over the next many months, we're going to be taking the effort that has been started with Plan Salt Lake and really gear up into a whole nother level in terms of what we'll be looking at and the way we'll be involving the community. So as a planner, I suffer from this malady. I really welcome this as both an exciting opportunity for our plan and for giving really strong guidance for us in Salt Lake City, where we take planning very, very seriously and where it does serve genuinely as a guide for our decisions in the city. But it's both a great effort as it relates to planning, but I think most importantly, this is a real opportunity for the whole community to get involved and help shape what the future of this city is going to look like, what the future of this city is going to feel like, and what our objectives are going to be, both internally in city government and for the city as a whole. So I'm glad to be part of the launching of this portion of Plan Salt Lake, and hope everyone in the community will take the time in the many, many ways that hopefully we make this planning effort accessible to the community to get thoroughly engaged and help guide the future of Salt Lake City. I'll turn the time now over to Eric Shaw.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I too am excited about Plan Salt Lake. It is a pivotal process among the many planning processes that are taking place within the city. Part of my role since coming to the city has been to evaluate and help revamp the city's master planning processes with the goal to update the plans in a more timely fashion and establish a more uniform planning process. I believe that plans should be based on facts about existing conditions and about the best practices in the planning profession. But they also should reflect the community values, goals, and be based off of community input. And so in that end, we are really excited about the extensive public engagement process that's about to happen. And Wolf's going to say this, and the mayor said that we encourage you to participate in our planning processes. We will be at all the events over this season. And with that, just want to introduce Wolf Silmercorn, our planning division director.
Thanks, Eric. Thanks, Mayor. Plan Salt Lake, as the mayor mentioned, is an effort to create a comprehensive plan for Salt Lake City, something that the city has not had as a single document, really, to speak of since about the 1960s. For years, Salt Lake City has been creating community plans and also functional plans, things like a transportation plan and a housing plan, but there really hasn't been one place where you have all of the city policies articulated together. Each of these separate plans have established their own policies, and because they were done over different periods of time, sometimes you would get policy evolving, and they would be a little bit different. Part of the effort for Plan Salt Lake is to pull all of those policies together as they exist in many of the city's current documents, to reconcile those, to basically road test them again with the public, and see which are relevant, which may be in need of some updating and some change, and then adopt them as Plan Salt Lake, which will then, as mentioned, be the overarching comprehensive policy plan document for the city to guide land use and other types of decisions that the city will make over the years. And then this will also serve as the basis to update the various community plans throughout the city again. As you may be aware, we have currently started the process for updating the downtown master plan. We've got a couple of other projects underway, West Salt Lake plan, which is nearly complete at this point, East Bench plan, which is also currently underway, and we'll be beginning others again in the near future. They will all serve to be guided by the policies that are articulated in the Plan Salt Lake document. So we just want to let you know this is your plan, Salt Lake City and residents of the city. Come out to the events and support them and be involved. And lastly, I would like to thank the efforts of our planning staff, who have been doing a phenomenal job in putting all of this together and in reaching out to the citizens of the city and of the region. And with that, I'd like to have Liz Buehler, our project manager on this project, just tell you what's going to be happening with regard to events for Plan Salt Lake in the next couple of weeks. Liz?
Thank you. For the next 2 weeks, Plan Salt Lake, along with some other city plans, will be in the library share room right behind me. And for Plan Salt Lake, we will have asking for input on various topics that we hope to include in Plan Salt Lake. We'll also be speaking to several community councils in the next couple weeks, and starting next Saturday, we will go back out to community events, specifically Riverfest. We are going to People's Market. We're going to a lot of different events in the next month, and at the end of June, we'll have our public meetings. For all of the information on all our events and all our outreach, please visit plansaltlake.com. Thank you.
So thank you. Be happy to answer questions. I might just mention we really appreciate on the mayor's and the executive branch side both the support and really the leadership we've seen on this issue from the Salt Lake City Council. We take planning very seriously in Salt Lake. In a lot of communities, you see a wide range of how planning is handled. Some communities figure it's something that should be real general, so it doesn't need to be followed. Some communities feel that plans should be general guidance but don't need to be followed. Our view in Salt Lake City is that our decisions should be consistent with our plans. That when our community gets engaged in establishing long-range plans and policies for us as Salt Lake City, that it's then incumbent on us to reflect that community desire. So this effort for us is not just sort of an exercise, it is a fully engaged effort with our community to provide guidance for us, short-term and long-term, for Salt Lake City. With that, let me maybe answer questions, or if you prefer, we can do things one-on-one, whatever your preference is. So, okay? All right, thank you all. All right. Great job.